ACCES-VR is part of the New York State Education Department. The acronym stands for Adult Career and Continuing Educational Services Vocational Rehabilitation. Some of you folks may remember the name as VESID. We changed our name about 7 or 8 years ago. So VESID seems to be a more common name that employers identify with. We have 15 offices throughout the state, and we are all about work. That's what ACCES-VR does. We help people with disabilities go to work. I'm going to give you some examples of some things we can do to achieve that goal as we move through some of these slides. We have a presence at the Work Center. We have an office there. We have 2 vocational rehabilitation counselors there. We have a total of 23 counselors in our office, and we cover a 6-county area, being Onondaga, the 4 contiguous, and Jefferson County in this region, but we have 15 offices throughout the state. We have many different methods, as I mentioned, and services that we can offer to individuals. Being part of the State Education Department, of course, we can offer those services. We do contract with a lot of agencies and with a lot of our partners, and by contract, I mean that someone may approach you with an employee that has been through the ACCES-VR system as part of the VR system, and we have a contract with them to help place our individuals with disabilities in employment. Some of the ones you might recognize in Cayuga County, to name a few, would be Unity Employment Services, Seneca Cayuga ARC, Arise, BOCES. Those folks are under contract with us. So if someone from there approaches you with a person with a disability for employment purposes, chances are they're a part of our system. Who should apply? Anyone with a disability, if the disability is a barrier to maintain or obtain employment, and we always suggest that don't rule yourself out, folks. If you think you have a condition that would qualify for our services, we're part of the State Education Department, as I said. We're tax-based funded. There is no cost to 99% of our programs. Some of the economic need factors might come into play when a person wants to go to a 4-year college institution, but most times that is also fully funded by ACCES-VR. The services, I'm not going to read down through them. You can do that. You can see that there is anything that we consider to be vocationally needed. It's all vocationally based need. So therefore, we don't have money for housing or rent or anything of that nature. We're all about employment, and we're all about getting a person back to work. And based on the person's needs, we don't take a cookie cutter approach. We meet individually with each person, and as their needs are identified, we then make referrals out to the various agencies that can provide those services for our folks. And we do have some financial incentives, as many of the members of the group here today do. We have federal and New York State tax credits that we can offer. I'm the business services rep for ACCES-VR in this area, so I primarily oversee these programs. And the federal and the state tax credits will amount to $4,500 over a 2-year period. And the best part of that is I do not expect any employer to understand or write those tax credits. I will do them all. It will take 5 minutes of your time, and all I need is a signature and demographic information. Our wage reimbursement programs are very lucrative. For entry-level positions, we typically reimburse wages for a 3-month period to the employer, and for more technically based positions, we'll reimburse wages for 6 months to the employer. Again, very user-friendly programs, and I will do 90% of the paperwork for you. We are a resource for disability awareness, accommodations, ADA. Any questions that you may have regarding hiring a person with a disability, or if you have a person in your employ that you feel could benefit from our services, we have job safe programs. We can come in with accommodations. We can come in with training. We can come in with anything that you need if it's vocationally based to help that person with a disability maintain employment. Typically, we place around 12,000 people with individuals with disabilities throughout the state. The most recent number I have is 2015. I do apologize for that. Our rule of thumb is, as I mentioned earlier, if in doubt, if someone would be eligible, they can come and talk with us. There's no obligation. We're not a mandated program. A person can start receiving our services and leave. They can re-enter our system at any time throughout their life. We are very flexible. We are very understanding that people might start down a vocational path and realize it's the wrong one, and we have to shift gears. Early on in my career, I was an accountant, and I want to tell you what a terrible mistake that was after I realized I couldn't sit behind a desk and crunch numbers. Feel free to call us with questions. My contact information is there. I'm in Cayuga quite a bit. I mentioned that individuals can work with us more than once. We also encourage applicants to be proactive in the process. We don't want a person just to come in and say, show me a list of jobs and I'll pick the one I want. We want people to be very active in their job search and utilize all of the tools that we have to offer.